listening to the Contraritics Podcast, pushing back against the insanity of this world with arguments that may or may not work. And here's your hosts, Josh the Gun Nerd and Ian the Beer Nut.
That's us.
Yeah. You ever have somebody come up and tell you about a dream they had? And you're just like...
All the time?
I don't want to hear about your dumb dreams.
Well, I can't say that out loud when it's my kids. You gotta listen.
You know, even with your kids, you kind of care about it a little bit more because they're your kids, maybe.
Yeah.
Hypothetically. But I'm not your kid. But I had the craziest dream that woke me up.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, why don't you start by turning the mic towards you?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Got to do that.
There you go.
Because I'm a professional.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream that literally woke me up like, what in the world, at like 4:40 this morning, and it was that Ethan had wanted to take over smoking all the meats that we had.
I was like, smoking what?
Yeah. I'm going to smoke all your cigars right now, Dad. And so I went to work and I came home, and home was not our home. It was like in the city, and we had a dumpster right underneath the kitchen window.
Oh.
Which is, already this is a bad dream when you put a dumpster right underneath the kitchen window. But I look out the kitchen window, and the briskets that we had that were the size of dumpster lids. One was on the dumpster lid, and one was in the snow in the dumpster slush. Yeah. That happens underneath. And these were like briskets off of like a stegosaurus. They were massive. Oh, wow. It's like $2,000 in brisket,
Yeah.
And I remember peeling the brisket out of the dumpster snow, slushy stuff, and like washing it off.
Oh, man.
And I was like, this is disgusting. Why am I doing this? And I'm like, but this is a $2,000 slab of brisket. I don't know why I wanted to share that with you, but it really rocked my world this morning.
Yeah, that was not a part of our pre-show discussion.
No. But now we should probably have a beer.
But yeah, I mean, when the spirit moves, you got to speak.
That's right.
What do we have?
What do you want to start with? Maybe looking at Joyfully Stuff'T. It's a bourbon barrel one. We should probably finish that one off.
Yeah,
go with
I'd
this
say
guy first.
Usually end with the sweeter.
So this is the Ferment Brewing Company Woodsman Porter brewed with Douglas fir tips.
Oh yeah, you said that.
Yeah. So
I saw you lining it up to open. I'm like,
open it
that is backwards.
But it'll be impressive.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So we talked about this briefly last week because I mentioned there's this guy on Instagram that is like on this wood train where he's like trying to get the infusion of wood into ice cream, and you're like, why? But
why would you do that?
I don't know, but that's his goal.
Yeah.
And so he'll take little chunks of like cherry wood and like steam them or whatever, and then like trying to mix them over heat in milk, and then make ice cream from that milk. So that kind of that reminded me when you said with fir tips, because you're like, why are you sticking fir tips in beer?
That's weird. So it says dark chocolate, not Baker's, but dark chocolate, a red berry, which there's a lot of red berries out there. Like, what kind of red berry are we talking about? And then, oddly enough, evergreen.
Does that say Hood River?
Yeah. Ferment Brewing Company in Hood River, Oregon.
Okay. Because Hood River has Double Mountain. It has Freedom, and now this. I'm sure it has a couple others. Yeah. It has a distillery, maybe a couple distilleries, but it's kind of crazy for. I mean, it's just a little.
It's a white spot in the road, right?
Yeah, it's a little town along the river. I mean, I know it's like a world-class area for windsurfing. But,
that's right.
It's a fun little town.
I have only been there on a pest control training weekend.
I was going to say, it couldn't have been a service call.
Nope, that would have been
expensive.
Yeah.
No, Kim and I went there for a little getaway. Shoot, that was probably 2018 or something, so 8 years ago.
Wow.
Well,
why does that seem like a long time ago?
Yeah, I know. We're in Trump's first presidency then.
Wow, that's crazy.
And yeah, it was a fun town then. I mean, like, so Kim lived there for a little bit when she was tiny.
Oh yeah.
And so we went by her house that was completely unimpressive. It was just a little suburban house.
Yeah. It's like one of those don't meet your heroes, and also don't go home.
So what do you think?
It's a good, it's a good porter.
Yeah.
No hint of Douglas fir tips.
I'm not picking up any tips.
Yeah, which I'm not going to say that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It does say on the back, facial hair and flannel is optional. So I'm going to go with that's also a good thing.
Okay.
I tend to not want facial
Nothing
hair.
about Mexican or gay or anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, totally serviceable. It is weird. It's when I see Ferment, I think Fremont.
Yeah,
because that's what I know.
Read it twice in my head.
Yeah, when you're associating beer and those letters.
It does say product of the USA.
Right, which is
kind of what we're shooting for.
That's great.
We're wanting to buy from, a relatively local brewery.
Yeah, it's fun to have imports every once in a while, but
yeah,
we're aiming for local most of the time.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just thinking in terms of local, there's lots of breweries now with having turnover. Like, Skookum just changed ownership in Arlington. At Large in Everett is turning over ownership in February, I think.
Oh, really?
I just saw one of their posts.
To a bigger
No,
brewery,
just another.
Okay.
Sound like I think it might be one family to another family or something like that.
Okay.
But similar case to Arlington where they just want to retire.
Yeah. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
Like
and if you actually had a good enough, product and customer base that it made sense for somebody to take it over.
I think I've been to At Large maybe twice.
Me too, and it's been quite a few years.
Yeah, a long time. I mean, I think
honestly,
that was back into single kid days.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a picture with Job. He must have been in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And we had to go to Everett for some reason. I stopped by there with him.
That's actually a common thing a lot of people say is I had to go to Everett for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I had to. We stopped there.
A motherless goat.
I don't know why it's doing this. Like I can edit and render 4K videos, but for some reason recording recently has been a struggle. All it says is write too slow. And I'm like, no, you're writing too slow. Yeah. I don't know what's wrong.
Kidding.
But yeah, so we stopped there and he I think I got him fries or something and he went to squirt the ketchup or something and he got it all over his face and on his uniform.
Nice.
He had his school uniform on. But yeah, they haven't been there in a long time, but I do remember their vibe of similar to maybe Skookum's vibe of just kind of like,
yeah,
do you like your beer or get out of here? Like
that is exactly what it wasn't like turn you away, but it wasn't
mean.
Welcome you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're here. Okay.
All right.
We'll pour you something if you ask.
Nicely. Yeah.
We prefer you not ask nicely because we just don't want to do nice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's different, I think that is important to any business of how, like, who is your first point of contact?
Yeah.
Because that can, a lot of times with those small establishments, you just kind of, people assume that, that like you're the owner or that you're the influential person. So they're like, I don't know, he treats me like this. So that must reflect the whole institution.
Yeah. There's a few different places I've worked where people have said, "Oh, are you the owner?" And one of them was like, a multinational corporation, and I was like, I wish I was, but no, I'm just here doing a $18 an hour job.
Right. I'm flattered that you think so.
Yeah, exactly.
Do I seem of that high caliber?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just slum it sometimes down here at the bottom.
Right. It's like, you got to, when the CEO gets in the the workman's closed and see if anybody can.
What was that TV show?
I don't know.
Undercover Boss or something like that. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Sounds like a thing. Yeah.
Here I am doing the Undercover Boss thing by myself with no camera crew. Yep, that's me.
Exactly.
It's good beer.
Yeah, I would totally drink it again if I was just looking for a good, decent porter.
Yeah.
I mean, I am kind of curious what it would taste like with a more notable presence of Douglas fir tip.
I'm not going to wait around because we don't have all the time in the world. But if this was just totally warm, I wonder if we'd get like a pint glass warmer. You know, you got the coffee mug warmers. You need
those
a pint glass warmer.
Those ember mugs or whatever.
Yeah. I just want to warm my pint glass up enough to.
Well, they actually have that practice where, is it around Oktoberfest or whatever, where they stick like an iron in the fire and they stick it in the middle of it. I have seen that. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, that seems like that would create some different flavors.
Yeah,
maybe good. Maybe
would it like caramelize sugars?
I think it would. Yeah, but it also might toffee-ize. Make it really bad. So
yeah, I don't know. It'd at least be an experiment.
Yeah.
But something that we were talking about that, that is, I mean, as our kids are getting older, and how do you help children avoid pitfalls?
Yeah.
Without being completely pessimistic and a wet blanket over them. And
I don't know. I'd like to know.
Yes.
Should we bring somebody in?
Right, because the one might say, "Hey, why are you thinking like that? That's negative thinking. Why would you even think that they might fall into that temptation?" Or, and you're like, "Well, I don't know. One, I've seen other people do it.
Yeah.
And two, why would I assume that they're not going to have pitfalls? So why not try to see them ahead of time?
Yeah, without holding that over their head and pushing them towards that pit.
Right. Because you might say, oh, well, just wait till the problems get there.
Yeah.
Then deal with them. Don't try to preempt them by guessing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, but if you know your children's frame, I would say on the other side, if you know your children's frame, then you should be able to at least have some idea of, hey, you are one who, is really excitable and is the life of the party, but you can fall prey to getting discouraged because of one little thing that goes wrong. Like I can think of a kid in my house that struggles that way, but others are like very even keeled and very.
We know that we're talking about you. I mean, you're very excited.
Yes. I can't stop smiling actually. Wow, it wasn't supposed to be that funny.
Look at Ian smiling right now.
I was thinking of
as I look at your camera.
I was thinking of Elf. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Is maple syrup sugar?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Oh yeah, I love that doing that all the time.
Yeah. No, but yeah, like, I mean, parenting in hope, in a hope founded on a God that rewards us beyond what we are worthy of. Yeah, like that's how we should parent, but it is also knowing that all of us have pitfalls. I mean, it's kind of easy, I have found in many ways, to parent as a dad, because it's like, okay, well, I can see both of my attributes in my boys, and I can see how I fell in different ways, and so how do I keep them from that? Just thinking about, like, I mean, because this is coming from a discussion that they had about, some people that have just seems like everything that they do just is amazing, and how that can make for kind of a soft person or a very proud person. And so
and specifically at a young age, where it's like untested.
Yep.
It's just so far things have been smooth sailing.
Yeah.
And they've excelled, and they seem to be doing all the right things. But is it cultivating the right loves and the right?
Totally.
Is it catching on in their soul?
Because the concern is, and it is like somebody I saw growing up, and it's what caused me to say, hey, I saw this kid growing up that like to everybody, to all the adults, they saw him as like just everything he did was magic. To take it back to a song, everything she does is magic. And you know, knew all the right Bible verses, knew everything, all the right answers to give for everything that, you know, an adult could ask him. And then in the background, literally went like this kid knew how to turn it off and turn it on to, you know, look at to adults and then just go back to doing whatever he wanted. And his knowledge actually damned him. You know, he decided, well, I know all about God, don't need him because everything comes easy to me. And then just turned away from God entirely. When he came from a family that, you know, the whole community regarded as an amazing family, and in many ways they really were and are. And yet there's this guy that just had all the right answers and turned away from God. And so when you see that in your children, like how do you parent and hope, but also know that that's a real ditch to drive into. And
yeah, and I think a lot of parents, and I'm guilty of this as well at times, you try to, you see your kid at breakfast, maybe breakfast, lunch, dinner, in the summer or on vacation, but like for the most part, you see them in the morning, in the evening, mm-hmm. And you think you know them. But have you actually, when you get time, not even like, I think taking them out one by one is great. Yeah. But even when you're just sitting around, you're sitting next to them on the couch, like, do you say, hey, what was school like today? Hey, how's it been going with what's her face? And they might say, well, this thing kind of happened. And you're like, okay, how'd you handle that? Are you talking to them about how they're handling situations? Are you curious about how they're like, when you see them running around church or wherever you might be around other kids, mm-hmm. Are you seeing how they're interacting? Are you seeing the pitfalls that they're currently experiencing and how that might look 10 years down the road? Yeah. In a big boy version, big girl version. Yeah. I think a lot of parents
prepping them for those things. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we are, and also it's always evolving because they're growing, you're growing. Yeah. And so just assuming that you know them because you went out on a date with them, 3 years ago. That's just lazy.
It's a thing that I'm always kind of having to reevaluate. Like, oh, I haven't asked them, about that problem they're having in a while, or I haven't checked up on how that friend is and what they're talking about when they're texting or whatever. Or hey, they haven't been hanging out with that person, or they are now hanging out with somebody they haven't hung out with before. How do you guide them through all those things? And remember, like, it's like I need to put on my calendar, hey, check up on, this child.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I would encourage everybody to go and listen to Doug Wilson did an interview on some sort of I'd have to look it up, but it's something apothecary podcast or something.
That sounds familiar.
It was when he was down in I think at the TP USA. The Culture Apothecary with Alex Clark. Alex Clark is I think a conservative female figure. I don't know what exactly. I think looking through the podcast, it looks like it often focuses on health and occasionally on faith and things like that. But he was on there, and it was essentially just a kind of a summary, a 1 hour summary of a lot of his parenting guidelines and things like that, principles. And I thought it was a helpful refresher, just thinking through, anticipating issues in your kids, dealing with them, even talking about how, in the 1 to 5 year old stage, they're basically in a North Korea type environment where it's just dictatorship. Like, I'm not asking you what you want. This is what I'm telling you. You're dictating everything, and that's also where most of the discipline spankings happen. Is in that period of time, and then slowly you're releasing that. You're then the process of letting go is that from to adulthood.
Yeah.
When you're just
you want those failures to happen at home. I mean, I think that
and you want the tightness of your discipline to slowly be released as they get older, not stay the same, and definitely not go backwards.
Yeah.
And sure, unique circumstances happen where you're like, hey, this hasn't been working. Hey, we're gonna roll it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't seem like you can handle that yet.
Yeah.
And making adjustments as you see fit. But the example he gave, and he's used this before, but when his daughter Rebecca, I think when she turned 16, he all of a sudden said, "Hey, you can watch whatever movie you want if you if you go out with friends or whatever." Yep. Because it would always be, hey, run it by us, and we'll help you walk through that, make that decision. But then at 16, it was like, well, why? Other people would ask, well, why would you do that at 16? It's like, well, because I want her. Why wouldn't I want her to fail right now when she's at home?
Give her that buffer of.
And you're not trying to make her fail. You're actually trying to set her up for success.
Yeah. And I think also in those particular things, like with movies and such, it wouldn't be needing permission, but it would be, let's have a conversation after you see it, and so it wasn't like this unguided.
If they do actually love, talking about loving the standard, loving being in fellowship, loving those things that you're adhering to, then they're probably actually going to ask, like, hey, Dad, what do you think about this? And then you can talk about those things. And then by the time they're 18, they should be like, they would have had a lot of those conversations. And then they're like, no, I think I know what he would say about this. And hopefully they're loving that mutual standard that you have.
Totally.
There's just a lot of, obviously there's a lot of wisdom pieces, and throughout a child's life, how do we, they're now saying this, how do we direct them? They now have this tendency, how do we shape it? But I think when you have that general perspective of wanting to help them get ahead of problems before they're there, and also slowly releasing the discipline while or rules while they're in the home, there should be a flavor that is sweet to them and not repulsive.
Yeah, and I think that that having that that kind of time release grasp on them does lend itself that way. I mean, in some ways my parents did that. There was less of the conversation that went along with it, but more like letting us have more freedoms as we got older instead of the restrictions. And man, that it actually, and there was other things that made us not want to be home, but
right.
But that was not one of them. It did not lead to us just watching whatever movies like we wanted to watch. It actually, when because my parents did that. Like, I can't even remember. It wasn't at 16. I think it was before that. But when we had to ride our bikes 3 miles into town to go rent a movie,
right?
This was probably early Blockbuster days. But
or Hollywood Video.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, it was Hollywood Video. But yeah, we kind of got to do whatever we wanted as far as our entertainment. And I wish there would have been more discussion on it, but we knew that was a possibility. Mm-hmm. And so we couldn't go and just get whatever and think we could get away with, watching whatever. They would at least, hey, what did you watch and why'd you watch it, kind of a thing. And, it made it easier to make sure we're making the right decisions. So.
Yeah, because I think just as, as creatures, that, when you reach like sexual maturity, that is like in animals and stuff like that, we would consider them like a premature adult, or like somewhere in the, like when a cat is able to have kittens, it doesn't mean like, it might be rough for a 9-month-old cat to have kittens, but she's capable. And so like, I think in general, we have already retarded the development process. And so
I'm so glad you said that, because that is, I hate this Joe Rogan and whatever kind of a thing where like the prefrontal cortex is not fully developed until they're 25 years old. Well, look, you retard. Like there was guys writing constitutions at that age,
and going to war.
Yep.
And like, I mean,
10 years into raising a family sometimes.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, what age was Jonathan Edwards when he? I mean, obviously he was a exception, but going through college and seminary and stuff, at 16 or whatever. I think as a society we've already retarded the process, brought it back, and so now we have these, legally they're not adults till 18, but come on, they're. We should have higher expectations for them before that. They should be driving. They should be that is a small step of responsibility. It's big and small. It's like it's big because you could kill somebody. It's small because there's a lot bigger things that you're gonna have to handle.
We know somebody that had in our group. There was one guy that was 26, 27 years old, had, was married, had a child or two, and was, running a business. And one day, another dad in the group kind of woke up and looked at that guy and realized, okay, he's the same age as my kid who is peeing into soda bottles and setting them outside of his bedroom so that he can dump them out later so that he can play his video games longer. Yeah. You failed at that point.
Something's gone awry.
Yeah. Like, that is, you missed the boat on that one.
Yeah. And so, and even if you're in that situation, God takes you where you are, not where you should have been.
Yeah.
And so, okay, what can you do now to help? Obviously, a lot of the
you should start doing something.
Exactly.
Even if it's late.
Even though most of the cement has been set, that doesn't take away your responsibility. Mm-hmm. And so, at that point, whether or not they're in your home, can have a factor in it. But I think the overall trajectory should be like mindful parents, not controlling parents, parents that are willing to say the uncomfortable thing, because guess what? It's only going to get more uncomfortable the longer you go. So, I mean, I say these things as things I'm still working through and thinking through. But in general, that's kind of been my philosophy, and philosophies are great until you get punched in the face. Yeah. So I'm praying for God's mercy on that.
That is the fun and interesting thing about, recording thoughts on parenting when you don't have fully grown.
Exactly.
Prefrontal cortex developed children.
Yeah. It's just like that is such an elitist 21st century, reason why kids can't do something. It's like, because we found out that, it's not actually fully formed. Well,
so we should not expect anything of them.
Right. I don't think those two things go together.
Yeah.
What did you just put in our glass?
I don't know. You see that stuff in there?
Yeah.
I'm not excited about that. So this is last time we had a Prairie Artisan Ales, and it actually sounds similar to this one, but it's not entitled. This one's called Joyfully Stuf'T, and it's a bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout with coconut, almonds, and cream-filled chocolate cookies.
Well, I think the cookies are hanging out on top of the beer.
It kind of looks like it. It does say that there's sediment on the bottom, but I think there's also sediment on the top.
Well, if we poured everything out, then.
But this went straight. I mean,
there's still a little
there's
bit.
still some in there.
Okay.
This went straight in the glass right away. I mean, it has like a kind of a ditch water kind of a surface to it. It smells interesting.
It is. It's different than what I was thinking.
Oh, wow. That's sweet.
Yeah. I wonder if it's the cookies that gives it that.
I think it's the cookies that gives you that weird accent.
Yeah.
It is interesting to me you can see some of that sludge up in the neck there.
Yep. Kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
Neck sludge.
Neck sludge. It's like with babies when they're...
What is a cream-filled chocolate cookie?
Is it an Oreo?
Oh. Okay.
Okay, because there was... What was the one?
JoJo.
The JoJo, yeah.
Yeah.
When you were like, oh, this tastes like JoJo's. And I was like, JoJo's are
because I was thinking...
salted potato wedge.
Right. Yeah. Because I was thinking a chocolate chip cookie. When you said chocolate cookie, I was thinking chocolate chip cookie. I'm like, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Cream filled, like a donut filled.
Yeah.
Bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout with coconut almonds. Cream filled chocolate cookies.
I wish they wiped the top layer off, but it actually doesn't seem to affect the...
It's a disturbing art on the front there.
It is. Yeah, it looks like probably homegrown. I mean, it's not. I mean, maybe it is, but it could have been somebody that gets paid $20,000 for a piece of art like that. You said
homegrown. I thought you meant like inbred. Like because it's got like this.
Yeah.
This interesting person on the front.
Definitely go inbred. Look at everything they threw everything in that mouth.
Yeah, wow.
It's a hamburger and a turkey and a sailboat.
Well, they aptly named it, and the art, I guess, fits with the title.
Yeah. It is. This is the great thing about tasting beers is we could have had 2 other people in here, and this would have been just enough beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as like this one bottle, like this 12-ounce bottle or whatever this is could have easily been split 4 ways.
Yeah. Well, Josh, speaking of beers that we taste and other people taste, how did last week go?
Oh, man. Oh, that's right.
Post pickle beer.
That pickle beer.
We had 2 unnamed people try it afterward.
That's right. And
what were the first comments?
One was, I think, very similar to what I said. It reminded her of Barnyard after all the animals went pee. Mm-hmm. Which as much as it really reminded me of that, it's surprising that somebody else would think the same thing. But
then the other person, who I don't think drinks beer very often, or ever, was like, I don't know, it smells okay to me.
Kombucha?
Yeah, kombucha. I think that might have been the first thought. I was like, okay.
I've had a lot of kombuchas, and I've hated a lot of kombuchas, and I've never hated any of the kombuchas that I hated as bad as I hated.
Do you say kombucha?
I'd probably say it wrong, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, kombuchas, I think, is the correct
just
civilized way of saying it.
Yep, minor correction there.
Nope, that's a good one. I like to correct minors.
I don't consume a lot of kombucha or kombucha.
Yeah, probably less kombucha.
But no, that was it was affirming to get a couple other people's.
Well, and just to top it off, I went home and I was burping the whole way.
Yeah, he texted me later and he's like, "That is not settling well."
No, it wasn't. And well, we brought your cats home that day.
Yes.
And my wife thought that the cats were peeing all over the place because every time I'd burp, she'd smell fresh pee.
Right.
So this is a beer that reminded 2 people of barnyard animals peeing, and then my wife of cats peeing.
Yes.
And I was unsettled in my gut for the rest of the day. So
yeah. What is the goal with a beer like that?
No, to never have one again. that is my goal.
Like, hey, we made a beer that no one's ever made before, and no one will ever want to make again.
I would love to make a phone call to Fort George and ask them, like, what were you guys thinking?
Or with the Michelada.
Yeah, the Michelada. I mean, that one, like, I could understand some people liking that.
Yeah.
Because it has that V8 kind of a...
Yeah, I guess if you're a V8 person,
yeah, there's
built
some
different
sickos that like that kind of stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think things are gonna I mean, as far as the country goes, I don't think the things are going to resolve anytime soon.
No.
In terms of ICE and these crazy liberal white women.
Yeah, just one had been shot and killed last time that we talked, and then there has been 2 more since then. Definitely one.
I don't know. What were the other? I know there was the Portland shooting, but those were 2 gangbangers.
Yeah, there was. I can't remember where it was at, where somebody was getting arrested by ICE, escaped, and then 2 people came out and attacked the ICE agent with a broom and a shovel. And, and so they ended up shooting the original target in the leg, but the ICE agent was also taken to the hospital for injuries. Also, the ICE agent in the one from last week that was hit by the car, I have heard one report saying that he had internal bleeding from that impact, which would surprise me just from what I've seen of it. But
I know. I'm like, what are they considering internal bleeding?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and that one had been in a prior thing, which I don't know if we knew that
or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if we knew that last time or not. But I'm still like, I just don't stand in front of vehicles when it's a negative person.
Every sensible person that I've heard talk about it that isn't super far left or right is basically like, yeah, probably dumb on both cases.
Yeah,
like
totally.
Probably not the wisest strategic position on the part of the officer, and probably not.
Lots of law enforcement agents officers have said that's actually not how we train to do these kinds of things.
Yeah, and I would actually like to see more of the footage ahead of time, like what led up to this. Yeah, because you can understand. I mean, yeah, he's a law enforcement agent, but he's also a human. Yeah, maybe like he was just done. You know, and like stop. You're a threat. You know, I'm willing to put my life in front of your vehicle. Who knows? Yeah. But Trump's threatening Insurrection Act to send in. Yeah, I think that would authorize sending in troops to quell.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, because you got the mayor coming out and just saying dumb stuff.
Certifiable.
He's an idiot.
He is. Yeah. What are they calling him? There's a city in Somalia. They're mayor of whatever city in Somalia that starts with an M. Mayor of Mogadishu.
Have you seen any of part 2 of Nick? What's his face? The young.
Oh no.
The young researcher, like that broke the whole story. What
is it? Riley? Nick
no.
Riley? Is that what it is?
Maybe it's close to that, but anyway, he broke part 2 of his Minnesota fraud.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
I just saw a clip from it, but he's going to all these business, like it's a building full of the same type of thing, like healthcare, childcare,
competitive businesses, all in the same.
Exactly, and he's like, this doesn't make any sense. If you're actually trying to make any money, why would you want all your competition right around you? Yeah. But basically, the Somali community, and this is what I kind of figured, is the Somali community is super tight knit. Yeah, they look out for each other. Yeah, hey, we're going to protect our fraud.
Yep, exactly.
And I mean,
we can fraud together because that's the primary business is your dollars. So they can be a competitive organization that is saving money on renting, their own building. Yeah, so they can maximize the amount they can get from your tax dollar.
Did you see what? I saw an estimate recently that I don't know if it was 10% of the federal budget was estimated to be going towards fraud or like some massive figure that is because we're at the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. We're not really. And how many politicians are complicit with it? Yeah. Tim Walz, has got his pants down right now, but he's just one that's being pantsed right now. There's a million others that I'm sure.
And the wonderful thing about it is they'll let him fall. I mean, he won't get, maximum repercussions that anybody should get for it. No, but they have no problem like cutting throats of their own.
Yeah, so, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So as much as I am thankful to be living in the United States. Man, we got problems.
Oh, man.
You know, like,
yeah.
But what we don't have is a problem like they do in England, where it's a soccer player for Arsenal, but he received a 6-month driving ban after caught speeding twice in 1 week on the same road. Guess how much over the speed limit he was?
2 kilometers per hour.
They actually put it in miles per hour for us English people, or us, not English, but Americans.
Free people.
Yeah. He said he was recorded at traveling 37 miles per hour in a 30 mile per hour zone.
Oh my
and
goodness.
49 in a 40 mile per hour zone. Folks, that is slower than most people are going above the speed limit on the freeway right now.
Wow.
Like 6 months driving ban.
That is crazy.
And they are one step down. They are 3 steps farther down the road in terms of immigration, in terms of freedom of speech, in terms of this kind of crap.
Yeah.
You know, like, thank God we are not England right now.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Like, be thankful for what you have and the problems that we have, and embrace, like, what can you do? You can embrace the people in your household, the job in front of you, the people in your community. You know, lean into that, because
we're 20 years behind them if we don't get our act together. So
yeah. So fight. I would say fight on the local level. You know, in terms of fighting for office, if you feel called to that, influencing your neighbors, like not retreating to the bunker. Not
time for the. There's a stupid old saying in the firearms world that all my guns were lost in a boating accident. You know, they just leave me alone because I don't have the things that you think I have. Don't think that you can just be left alone in your thoughts of freedom and God honoring. You have to be open and out there with it. You can't just be hiding it. Don't hide it under a bushel, yo.
Don't. I mean. That's not how change happens. It doesn't happen by just retreating. And you know what? I want to see my children go out and advance and have grandchildren and like advance it even further. And they should be able to look back and like having you as the patriarch back, getting their back and like helping lead the charge, not as like, oh, well, he's kind of weak. He's not going to do anything. We should be showing them what fighting looks like in the right kind of way, even now.
Yep.
All right.
Do it.
Get to it, folks. Until next time, weld defiance and obedience into one inseparable whole, because what else can you do? There's places where you have to defy, places where you absolutely must obey. So get after it.
See you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Contraritics. Tune in next time for another dose of guns, beer, and contrarianism.